Welcome back, guys, and sorry about my absence over this last week. I have actually been playing a lot of duels, just never really got around to recording. This is my deck I've been messing around with, actually. It's a 5-colour, I'm going to say control deck. You can see it's got 4 stars in control. But I've been having a lot of success with it. I actually haven't lost online yet with it, which is surprising, considering the Moss world we live in. But it's been successful. It uses a lot of cards I think people have tended to glaze over the last few meta, but as you can see, it's a rather big deck, so we're just gonna kind of glaze over cards rather than spending too long on them. It's powerful 1-drops in the Hawk and the Bells Lizard. I mean, we are a control deck, so a 20-turn clock isn't too terrible. Plus, Bells Lizard, when we get a bunch of land, that can go pretty nuts. I mean, we run 34 lands, so it's not unusual to see that thing to be 18-18. But again, we just have a bit of stall with Fogs. Animist Awakening, because 5-colour deck we need the best fixing we can get, and of course Animist Awakening is among that. A couple of the more powerful 2-drops in mostly the 2-1s and the 1-2s. Swiftwing is pretty broken, 3 abilities, plus a 1-2 body for 2 mana. Not much more you can ask for on a card, especially in an uncommon spot. Again, just more fixing. Unconditional green removal, believe it or not. I mean, goodbye Cothraped, goodbye Guardian Etazim. Hell, goodbye a Thopter token if you really need it to. Probably one of the more premium removals. There's one more removal spell that's a tad better, but we'll get onto that a bit later. Again, more fixing Greatblade Marauder, because as you can see we are running 42 creatures, so it's not unusual for this guy to just kind of come down, and then the opponent has to lose a creature each turn, otherwise they lose. More fixing. How about Lightning Bolt every turn? It's got Intimidate, which means, it can't be blocked by anything. Basically, because all the black creatures have Devoid, so that makes them colourless. And it says artifact creatures, not colourless creatures. Little known tidbit there. I'll catch a lot of new players out. Then we go on to our kind of our finishers. We have Siege Mastodon, which a lot of people looked over, but at the end of the day, this thing dodges Reprisal and Gideon's Reproach, which is exactly where you want in a bomb. It doesn't really die removal. Can't think of any other card in the format which kind of dodges removal. I mean, some people would argue Guy's Revenge, but at the end of the day, Wild Instincts kills it. But Siege Mastodon comes down, sticks around, which is exactly what you want in a finisher. Fortunately, the same can't really be said for Dreg Reaver. It does get hit by both Reprisal and Gideon's Reproach. But at the same time, they're removing it from the game. It's kind of in the same situation as Acid Moss, where people are complaining about it. It needed removed, and it's getting replaced. So we'll try and abuse it for as long as we can. More fixing Meteorite. I mean, it just gives you any colour you want, plus it shocks a creature. What more could you ask for? It's a powerful card in this deck. A bit more stall with the Prism Array. Easy with the premium removal spell Demon's Grasp. If you have 10 mana, which is likely, because most people play Ulamog these days. 10 mana and 2 Demon's Grasp, Ulamog's dead. Game over. See you next game. It's pretty, I can't really think of any of the spells we have which really deal with Ulamog as efficiently. It's why it's not Cruel Revival. I mean, I don't like Cruel Revival in general, just because, I mean, just -5 is just way better than bringing back a zombie from your graveyard. And the other curve topper, Axebane Stag. It's getting removed from the game again, but I'm only running 2, not because it's not a powerful card, just because it's 7 mana, we're getting a bit heavy on our deck there, and yes, huge body, can trade with a lot of creatures, or even just march right over. And finally, 2 Nissa's Revelation, because look at all the bombs we just showed you there. That's it's pretty impossible not to hit. 100 cards on the deck, something's got 190 targets, and that's all you can ask for. Land base is fairly straightforward, we run 34, nothing unusual there. All the battle lands, 4 Evolving Wilds, and then a couple of basics just for the fetches. And that's the deck. It's, like I said, it surprised me. I really thought Moss would be a trouble, but I mean, I've played games where the opponent sees the first Meteorite come down, and then they decide to stick around, and then the second one hits, and they're just gone. And I mean, what else could you ask for? I mean, this deck, I think I've been playing it all last week, so it's I'd say it's about 18-0, I'd say. So I can't really put too much complaints in. I'm going to be going online and we will be testing this deck and trying to prove you guys how successful it's been. If we can find a match. I generally think people have really stopped playing this game. It's kind of like the acid moss plus all these new cards, new decks which people are playing with, are kind of scaring people off, and I may just pause until we can find a game. Depend on. It's kind of a weird time here. It's in the morning, early in first of the month, I think. But we will pause and we will see you in game numero 1. So I'll see you guys then. And that took a while, but we did eventually find a game versus... I don't know his name yet, that's a surprising thing, I guess. But I'm expecting... I mean, mostly, like I said, that when you go online, it's just been red deck wins and ramp, but this deck kind of matches up pretty well with both of them. We have the Bellows Lizard, etc. to trade with Foundry Street Denizens. And then you have the... of course, you have your late game that trumps ramp's late game. So we're playing MLT Wesser, I believe was his name. He's on the play, which is kind of frustrating for this deck. This hand I don't think is a keep. This hand is perfect, exactly what we need. Pretty disgusting curve here actually. We get to curve out a Coral Merfolk and do a couple of Goblin Pikers, and then... I mean, we don't have black yet for the Demon's Grasp, but I'm sure it'll turn up eventually. Kind of have to choose carefully how we organise this here, because we can't play Evolving Wilds to get a red just yet, so we're going to miss out a curve eventually. But I think the get our Sunken Hollow down, I think, is the play, and then Plains, get the Coral Merfolk out there, and then we just have a pretty strong game. If he ends up having removal for these guys, Grey Blade's obviously going to be pretty insane. And we got a black for Demon's Grasp, and we got a blue, and we got white, and we're going to get red here, so we only need green. Of course we need double green, but such as the way the curve plays out, this guy seems to be struggling. At the end of the day, this deck can actually win by milling your opponent out as well. I mean, it's got no mill spells, but it's kind of an expert in prolonging the game more than anything else with your Prism Arrays and your Fogs. So, I mean, they've only got 52 cards in the library, so they're on a 52 turn clock, basically. And I'd appreciate if this guy would crack his Evolving Wilds. That would be ideal. Obviously, he's a bit intimidated, I don't blame him. Not too many people lead with the Sunken Hollow, especially in this green-filled world, so he's probably a bit shocked. But okay, there we go. He's figured out that he's the one holding the game up. Fair enough. And okay, well, that's a double green spell off the top. We're just gonna try and tempo him out here. We'll get the Coral Merfolk out. I mean, maybe we'll draw basic land, and then the basic red source, which I think we run 3, so it's pretty likely in our deck that we'll be able to fetch one out. But pretty interesting talk on this card if you haven't read it. Not too many people see it. But basically, the sailors were thought to be tricks, and then it was figured out they were actually the Merfolk. So it's a bit of a surprise card. Fits with the lore. This guy seems to be playing blue, green, white, which is banned. Yeah, it's banned. So could be seeing anything, but he doesn't have a play here. He's getting punished. I'm glad I played on the Merfolk now. 10 turn clock. Ooh, that's a good draw. And he's got a response. Shit. Oh, that's a counter deck. It's pretty frustrating. But we do have the answer. A 1/4 can kill that thing without losing it in our response. Fortunately, it means we're doing nothing this turn. Can't say I saw that coming. But gonna crack our Evolving Wilds now in case there's any lag. And a couple of basics to fetch out. And there we go. So pretty interesting start. He had the answer. He needed the answer and he found it. And now we are not really in a bad situation. We're just not. It's not going to be an easy win like most with this deck. Normally, opponents just kind of crumble when they see that first one. And unfortunately, we don't have Planeswalker removal, so that could be an issue. He might get an ultimate out of this, but with the man land, that could be an issue. But I mean, we're going to be flooding the board out next turn. Of course, we get land screwed as well. I don't think we've drawn one yet this game, which is statistically pretty much impossible. but let's not get too salty. It's only the first game. I'm sure this deck is proficient at digging ourselves out. We have the life gain here to stabilize. Chock full of removal. I mean, Siege Mastodon is not a bad draw by itself if we can hit the lands. And we should be pretty golden, I think. He can't attack this turn. The only problem is that Planeswalker does put us on a clock, which is kind of frustrating. Because I don't think Great Bird's ability goes off. Combat damage to a player, so unfortunately we can't abuse that with the Great Blade's ability. But I mean, I guess we could just attack in at it if things really did get critical. We hit the land drop, that's good. Fortunately, we are still getting a bit land screwed here, and we are stuck with only casting one spell a turn. But at the end of the day, we're holding back the flood. We've got one more land drop, and then our removal comes out. So he's going to tap down our Great Blade. He's going to get an attack in this turn, but Demon's Grasp is just going to kill him. Siege Mastodon is disgusting against these Bounding Crisis. So I think we're not in a bad situation. We're still missing green mana. We could potentially some bad draws in the deck. Let's hope we avoid them. What's this? It's -8, isn't it? Okay, so we've still got some time to deal with that, especially if he doesn't have a creature this turn. Oh. You know, sometimes this game just frustrates you. For one, this is a tempo deck that's running Acid Moss in a banned tempo deck, nevertheless. But I think we can recover still. That hurts though. He took out a red. Could use a Pilgrim's Eye right now. Oh. Still not no creatures to cast this turn, but we'll just sit back, try and stall out the game. So, honestly, our game plan might be here to just play the defensive game and try and stall out 45. He finds the third Crisis. This is... I mean, there's luck and there's luck. We are kind of up against... I mean, when you get a God draw across you like this, I mean, no deck's going to win. But I'm still pretty... We're not out of the woods yet. Look at our hand. We hit land, we have removal, we have big bombs, we have life gain. I think we can do this. Granted, we might be facing an emblem the turn after, but I think this deck can come. This deck has the power to like crunch through an emblem. So this guy missed taps there. I mean, I'd give him pity, but to be honest, I think I don't even think he missed tapped. I think he's just a suboptimal player. But we're gonna be hitting 5 lands this next turn. Okay. Well, that's a good draw. I'm not going to complain. So we have 2 blockers now, and that should buy us enough time. Yes, he gets his emblem, but we've got to remember Death Touch means cracking trades with the Great Blade Marauder, which is pretty insane. I mean, hang on. 3, 6, 9. Oh dear. This might get rough. Let's take a minute to think about this. So 3, 6, 9, 1, 8 life. Well, sorry about that, guys. I think I accidentally hit pause on the recording, but to be end, as you saw, we actually did end up turning that game around, and yeah. So basically, what happened was I kept hitting running Siege Mastodons, etc., and then fought through the emblem. He lost his Krakens, and then so now let's go into game 2. This streak continues, and yeah. So I mean, again, we're just pretty powered through there. It looked dicey, and then generally this deck likes to cut it close. It's why it's kind of enjoyable to play. It's enjoyable to play because it's kind of like Chant of the Moldiah back in the day, and I think it's slightly better in the sense that it's actually a stronger deck, but in the sense that it tends to cut it close. You get like 10 life less most of the games, and then suddenly you just turn it around. Once you turn the corner with this deck, I mean, no, I don't even think a fully fully stocked Kratz deck could turn the tide. But this time we're playing Homeless Jace, so hopefully we have a more competitive game. It was I felt kind of bad for my opponent. I remember when I was new and I got put into a baptism of fire. But let's continue. We have 2 mana. I think we can do better. This is the perfect hand. Wow. Look at this. But the ramp spell, Geiki Ravine, couple bombs. I mean, I don't think you could really want much more. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad play to Animist Awakening for 0. I'm tempted. If the advantage of doing it is that it helps enable spell mastery for your other spell mastery cards, but it's a tough decision. But I think overall, it's safe. I mean, if I was on the draw, maybe I do that, but on the play, I think you try and save it for as long as possible. But who are we playing this time around? I didn't make fun of his name, Mr. Know-It-All from North London, clearly. And let's continue. Demon's Grasp. This curve is just bonkers. So we don't have blue mana yet, but we're gonna fetch a black, I think, because we have 2 black spells in hand. No battle lands yet, but they now all come in untapped because we've seen blue. I mean, once we hit 5 mana. I mean, if it depends what we draw next turn, depending. Okay, Jace, turn 2 Jace, strong card, but I don't think it's going to be enough to stop this tide. Okay, so what do we hit? Okay, we hit another green, so we've actually need blue. So I think right now we crack the Animist Awakening. Hopefully we hit 2 lands. It's not exactly unusual. Of course we get unlucky, and 2 good cards go to the bottom of our deck, so that's disheartening. And apparently that's locked up the game. So, well, I've got to admit I'm slightly disappointed with Stainless. We were in a pretty strong position. So that can go on their resume as I don't think we can lose that game. Yes, he has like worst case scenario he flips that Jace, but I mean we're 2 turns away from Demons grasping it, so he'd have to have a lot of graveyard shenanigans, and even still, even a Jace isn't really too much against a Sea Mastodon plus Dread Reaver. I mean, yeah, you can minus it, but then at the end of the day, you're still getting hit for damage, and I think in that case I'd just go for the face. So, you know, Stainless I guess Stainless 1, me 1, opponent's nil right now. But we'll try for the 3rd game. I'm going to count that as a win, so I'm going to say we're now 20-0. And we found an opponent fairly fast. This guy's got a picture of a goat in a forest, so this is a conundrum. I'm going to say ramp, and the ramp matchup is great. I mean, most matchups are great with this deck, but overall, I think we're pretty golden here. If he is what I predict, I mean, I guess he could be elves. Again, not in the play, but Paw Patrol. So maybe we have something in common. Okay, 2 land hand, Suntail Hawk, Pilgrim's Eye, couple black. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. We're gonna keep. It's a risky keep, but we just need to hit one running land in our 34 land deck, and we get the Pilgrim's Eye, which gets us a black, and then we just get rolling here. And there's the white. In fact, we're gonna play aggressive here. That was a brilliant draw. Not many stronger 1-drops apart from of course Bell Lizard. Trying to think what else really matches up with it. I mean, he's playing green, so Plummet is an option. I know that's what I'm running. Carrier Thrall. It's a bit of a weird choice, but I'm not gonna fuss too much. Can't block the Accursed Spirit even though it's black. I think I went through that on the deck. Oh, that's a good draw. 20 turns, my friend. You've got 20 turns to beat me. Otherwise, I'm sure as hell going to beat you. And okay, so Evolving Wilds do get a black. Well, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what we get, but we've got white, green. We'll say this is black. This can be blue or red, depending whichever one we want. Okay, so it looks like we're playing some sort of Golgari Kratz deck. So it looks bad because it looks like he's winning the race here, but looking at the our hand, we definitely have the strength. What did I say I needed? I'm going to go black. Okay. So I mean, we could even just go Grey Blade Marauder here. He does have a lot of chumps for it, but at the end of the day, we can stabilise. I mean, Pilgrim Blade could be a choice as well, because we're hitting a land drop this turn. Another great removal spell. It's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Grey Blade. That holds back his ground forces, and then if we miss a land drop next turn, then Pilgrim's Eye, of course, changes that, and we can do pretty good. But strong start from both sides, I think. He got his Evil Leap, Carrier Thrall, I got my Suntail Hawk, which is there. So I think Covert pointed out to me in a stream of his, it's actually the opposite of me. Nighthawk, Suntail Hawk, it blew my mind. I never really thought of it like that. Of course, the deck doesn't let me down, and we, of course, hit our land drop, which is perfect. So, I mean, we're going to play it safe here with the Great Blade. He's going to sit back, because, I mean, we've got all our aggression in these spirits, which you got to remember. I think Shadows over Innistrad has a lot of support for spirits, so get used to this guy. Or was that Ghost? I can't remember. Some cards give it Hexproof, I think. Can you imagine this guy Hexproof? He can't be touched, he can't be killed. Okay, that's unfortunate. And up Nicholas, although if he minuses here, it's dead the turn. It's just dead the turn after. Good try there, my friend. But you can't block. You can't block the unblockable, my friend. So we're curving out like fiends here. We're gonna take a turn to kill that Obnixilis. Generally, I think it's a good idea. He can't block in theory. What the fuck? No. Oh shit! It's not devoid. What the? Shit. Oh, bollocks. Shit. It's like the only fucking... It's the only... What the... It's a... How the fuck isn't that an Eldritch? I'm genuinely upset. How the hell isn't Carrier Thrall a... That's not... It's not a vampire? What the... So you tell me that when Shadows of Innistrad come out, that we're going to be playing that in the tribal deck? Yeah, he fits in with all them fucking Bloodflow connoisseurs and shit. Okay, I'm sorry. I may have and nothing can block my fucking. Oh, this went south rather fast. I think it's a bug on the game's behalf, but we lost to a bug. I think that's what we're gonna put it down to. Although, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Jesus Christ, the lag got me there. Okay, and that's actually true. But we're not out the woods yet. I mean, we're not lost yet, is basically what I'm trying to say. Because we have the removal spell for that thing, which is actually what I was trying to cast, but we had a bit of lag and it just kind of screwed everything up. But that thing's going to be charging for 2 life. Obnixilis, that's 3 life a turn he's losing. And I think you best keep that in mind. But that's frustrating. I've got to admit, I completely forgot about this glitch here. But Namtuka Husk can block as well. This is just 2 bad matchups in a row, but first one we managed to dig out. Hopefully we can do the same. Bone Splinters. Okay, so he got the God Draw again. It's 2 God Draws in a row. Not much to say. Do we block? No, we don't block. We got the removal spell. We go down to 13, but we can clock him a hell of a lot faster. And we have a certain bomb coming down in the turn after. So I think we're doing pretty good here. Okay. Oh, no red mana yet. If I'd fetched up red instead of blue, I might have actually been able to take this game. It's just unlucky more than anything else. Demon's Grasp, take out the 5/5, and then... Yeah, you can sack it to Evil Leap, but... He's on a 5-turn clock. Can we stall out 5 turns? Minimum, I didn't even see what he got there. Okay, so... I mean, next turn we get to slam down a Dread Reaver. I mean, he hits me for what? 2, 4... I mean, there's a slim chance he could actually kill me here. But what you gotta remember is we have 1 infused with elements in the deck, which is good for +4/+4 right now, so basically a better Exquisite Firecraft. Okay, we might actually just be dead here. Let's see if we got unlucky. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, well, I'm going to put that down to the carrier throw bug and I don't know, the fact that we didn't fetch I mean, I guess the fact we didn't fetch a red. Although I wouldn't even say that's a misplay. I'd just say it was a choice which backfired. Like I could have drawn a Merfolk instead. So first loss with the deck. It's pretty unfortunate. Jagreaver was about to turn that game on its head. We had outs, we just didn't find them. That Ob Nicholas would have been dead as well. It hurts. Just different games. So we got comboed, and I've got quite no regrets. We didn't really see the cards we wanted to see. 84 cards sit in the library, and I think about half of them were useful, so it's pretty typical. Down to 35 we go. We'll play one more. We'll try and go 2-1 this video. But I mean, we've just been facing god draws and tryhards basically, which is why I haven't really enjoyed playing online recently. It's frustrating when you're taking your well-honed decks online and then people just crush you with jank. But I don't know, maybe we can find a third game fairly fast. That would be ideal. Well, I guess that, I mean, we do actually count that game we bugged out with as a win. I think that's fair. So we're really 2-1 right now. So let's just try and go 3-1. 75% win ratio. But I might just pause until we find a game numero 3, because it seems that everyone's went offline again. So I will see you when that happens. And we are in. So let's see how this game turns out. I don't think we can get as unlucky as we did the game before, but we shall see, and we will endure. So I don't know. The last game, the start was pretty promising. We're playing a black deck when you find both two of your accursed spirits. Is just it's like when I was finding tragic arrogance with my enchantment deck. You really can't play around it. But we are in the game, and we have a 2-land hand of black, red, and green. When fog buys us time, but I think we can do better. This is just stronger hand all around. Unfortunately, we don't get to Gate Refine on turn 2, and we don't really have any of our power cards. This guy's mulliganing down. He sticks with 6, leads with a green. How do we want to play this? We'll see what we draw. So great, we found a bomb. Gonna lead with the Evolving Wilds, get our green source, and then turn after, maybe if we draw basic, we can start trading our Great Vines out. So we need red. We got blue, white, blue, green. So we don't need blue. We've got black. So we got white, blue, black. White, blue, black. So we need green, and then we just need a red source with the other Evolving Wilds, and we're good. So, oh, look at this curve. Next turn, I'm going to slam a Goblin Piker into a Accursed Spirit, into a Jagreaver, into removal. I don't even think Rule Ramp across from us can deal with that. But he doesn't have a 3-drop. He did have to mulligan down, so I can understand the hesitance. But we need to get a red here. What a draw! That's a pretty powerful turn here. Get to get Slamagurkura down into a Suntail Hawk. Just way more mana efficient. We can get another black here, I think. Maybe I should have got green in hindsight, but got no green cards in hand, and I mean, he has to have an answer to this curve. I mean, Acid Moss, we punish him pretty heavily for it here. He does take a hit for it, and then we do even have follow-ups. No Acid Moss, Gate Refine, which he must have just ripped off the top, otherwise we'd have played last turn. So I'm going to say he doesn't have Moss, because, I mean, there's no point playing a Gate Refine there over just getting an Acid Moss out of your deck, so. couldn't have asked for much more, and let's begin the beatdown. So, slam him for 1. Get the Intimidate guy out there. Even if he has the board wipe, we have pretty strong follow-ups. So, let's get this 4-drop out here. I mean, Rolling Thunder would kind of be sad, but we're pretty good. We're definitely not lost the game yet, and our opponent's not really in a position to win. Full power on the board, which he can't block, and in green-red it's pretty unlikely that we'll be able to block either. I've got a 4-3 coming down next turn. Probably well, sometimes you get unlucky, but like I said, we have a pretty strong follow-up. In the Dreadgriever, I can remember the name there. Tempted to lead with that, but I think that's a stronger card for the turn after. We can go Swiftwing and Goblin Piker plus Evolving Wilds, and then the beatdown commences again. But typical when we get an aggro start, he has the sweeper. Pretty efficient way to deal with it as well. But trying to think here. Okay, so I mean, he has a Goku Van that can buy him a turn against the Dreadgriever. But at the same time, I mean, we've got 2 creatures in our graveyard already, so Graveblade Marauder is looking like a pretty good draw. There's the Moss, which I'm assuming he must have ripped off the top, because there's no reason he'd play out the Gatekeeper Vine there. He gets a Black Source, but we're still pretty good on the follow-up here. He is going to be running out of friends fairly fast. Well, this is just a stronger curve. So we got blue, white, black, green, red. So you actually got all our colours. So I'm going to get a second green here. Make sure this taps right. Leaving up our black so we can Swiftwing on the same turn. And then that's a pretty powerful clock. He's already had 1 sweeper. I doubt he can have 2. So we need a second green. So as you can see, this is how this deck kind of powers through against the Moss. I mean, yeah, he's got a lot of removal, but we have a lot of mana fixing and ramp. So let's see how he deals with this. Does he trade in that Gatekeeper Vine yet? He does. So I mean, he's shown white, but he could just be playing that for Radiant Flames. And if he has the Radiant Flames as well, I mean, again, it's just bullshit off another God draw, 2 sweepers. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He could have Omnath or Gaia's Revenge. Both would be problematic, although we can race pretty heavily. I'd love something. I mean, what would be the best thing? Green Warden dies to Demon's Grasp, so gets him back as Rolling Thunder though. So we're probably going to face a board wipe next turn, but we're going to get a hit in while we can, and that should be pretty strong. Lumbering Falls is a good draw as well. We can start activating that to hit him his life total more. So how much is this? This is 6 damage on the turn, which is tamed down to 12. If he taps out for the Rolling Thunder, Lumbering Falls taken down to 9. Then we should be pretty good. It's a big hit though. Yes. How much does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think he's got enough. He needs 3, 4, 5, 6. He needs 8 lands, and I think he did have 8. So we shall see. We shall see. We already dealt with 1 Mythic Bomb. I think the only rares this deck has are Graveblade Marauder, the lands, and Animist Awakening. I can't think of. So I mean, if you're a new person starting out with your deck, it's pretty. You can't go wrong really. But it's pretty strong ramp curve across most of you. It does it for 6. Interesting. Oh, that's enough. Yeah, I forgot because I was taking into account the actual mana we needed. So I think if we draw, it depends what we draw here. That can come down later. So we actually can't play the Goblin Piker on the turn, but Axebane Stag should hopefully close this game out. got red, white, blue, black, forest. So we've got plenty of green. Just need either black, red, or white. Oh, we actually got the Lumbering Falls as well, so we should be pretty good. From Beyond is annoying, but along with the Gatekeeper Vine as well. So I'm gonna crack this now. I'm just gonna get a second red, I think, just in case he does have the Acid Moss, so we can play our Piker next turn. But the From Beyond could fetch up Ulamog, and we are pretty well equipped to deal with Ulamog actually. He won't be able to kill us in 2 hits. But we are definitely up against the Koshia. That's a good draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we just slam down the Axebane Stag, and then I think we do, and then if he cracks for his Ulamog end step, he targets the Axebane Stag. He doesn't crack, interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe he's got Ulamog in hand, that would be pretty unfortunate. Well, there's his 10th land. 5, 8, 9, 10. Doesn't have the Ulamog, has Reclamation Sage, it's just a blocker here. We have a 6-7 power though. He's going to be losing a creature a turn. Plenty of draws we could have. Plummet would not be ideal, but anything else I think we're good. Shaman Event's actually pretty strong. I think this is a play. Attack in with both our creatures. If he wants to trade off his Scion and his Sage for my land, then fair play to him. But then, I mean, he could feel, like I said, he can fetch for Ulamog, but with all these lands we have coming at him, I don't think we're too worried. So the blocks I was expecting. We have Fog as well to buy us a turn. So, yep, I'll take them trades any day of the week. Play a Goblin Piker out there, and then it's going to crack for Ulamog most likely. There it is, Mr. Demon himself. Question is, what does he target here? We have quite a lot of threats distributed across the board. I think he goes for Axebane Stag in the land. But we're not out of the woods yet. He's not out of the woods yet. We have Flyers, we have Infuse with the Elements. We are definitely not done here. We have Fog to buy some turns here. Depends what we draw. It's all on our draws. There's a Flyer. So he's in a pretty rough situation here. For him it's do I attack with Ulamog and then put myself on a 3-turn clock, or potentially dead? I mean, if I have the right draws here, i.e. Infuse with the Elements, we can win this game. So one of Infuse with the Elements in the deck, 77 cards, it's not asking too much to see it. And he's got quite the mountain to chew through, so. And he's sitting back, which is exactly what we wanted. Let's get Gatekeeper Vine. Let's clock him down. 8 life now, sir. You need an answer. Gatekeeper get our black back. So we've seen 2 moss across from us, Ulamog, From Beyond, and yet we're still in a pretty good position to win the game. It's the power of the deck, my friends. Not to mention the Rolling Thunder, which got recurred. So, oh, of course he finds the answer. Typical game. I mean, you know, sometimes you think you're unlucky, and then shit like this happens, and you just think, what's the point? I'll take this hit. I guess we shouldn't have in case he has another Rolling Thunder. What did he exile? Some Tailhawk. Meteorite's gone, that sucks. Axebane Stag number 2. I mean, we have the chumps. We have the chumps for a turn or two. Just depends on his draw. Hopefully he floods out, and then Infuse for the Elements is for the win here. No, it's not. It's not for the yet. It's not for the win yet. Finds Ramp. It looks like. Is it still on that deck? I don't think I checked for that. Suntail Hulk's gone. Drag Reaver. Cormac Folk. Okay, it's gone. Damn it. Still got 2 meteorites, I guess, which count as burn. He's still attacking in. No, he's not. He's sitting back. Interesting. We've lost our flyer now, which is pretty huge. Although we still have plenty of flyers in the deck. I mean, we've still got some Suntail Hawks, Pilgrim's Eyes, Gurmag Swift Wings. Fortunately, of course, we start flooding out now. But we will see how this turns out. Okay, there's the land which we knew we had in hand. It's got 1 unknown. I'm done. Hang on. Fog prevents all damage. So we will see how this plays out. So, and there you have it, guys. That's how I beat Ulamog. As you can see, we took over the board position and are now swinging in for the kill. So, not really much to say. The Rolling Thunder top deck was bullshit, but we got through. And yeah, so Gideon's army, or Nighthawk's army, I guess, prevail. And yeah, so 3-1 for the day. The loss was pretty much just a god draw and a glitch on our half. So not much to say apart from thank you guys for watching and happy first.